Shalom, and welcome back to Shalashim in the Old City of Yerushalayim. Um, Hopefully short podcast. Just wanted to focus on the beginnings of we're going to be sending lectures and articles about Pesach, about Passover, and a little beyond the newsletter, the PDF we created, just sort of different aspects of it. But first of all, general thing. The Jewish holidays, which, by the way, Nisan, this coming holiday of Pesach in Nisan, is the beginning of the making of a people. It's our beginning. There is a Jewish New Year, which is about the creation of the world, etc., etc., but Nisan begins the process of beginning and becoming a people, then beginning and coming into a relationship with God in terms of covenant, and then coming into the land and basking in the glory and the joy of being a part of His bringing blessing into His land. But there's something else about the holidays that's missed by many people in the West. And that is that they usually look at Passover and Pentecost or Sukkot, and Pentecost or Shavuot and Sukkot as Feast of Tabernacles, as feasts that sort of remind us what happened to us in our history, meaning focus on what we went through and therefore we should become. And it's actually so much more than that. So let me read you the verse. In Leviticus 23, verse 2, it says, Daber el bnei Israel, speak unto the children of Israel. This is 23, Leviticus 23, verse 2. V'emor and say unto them, the appointed seasons of Hashem, the appointed mo'adei Hashem, which you shall proclaim to be callings of holiness, mikra'ei kodesh, even these are my appointed seasons, even these are mo'adai, meaning you're going to be the one that will determine when that holiday is, because you're the one who declares when the new month begins, and 15 days into that, or 14 days in the case of Passover, and 15 days in the case of Sukkot, is the time where we begin to celebrate these feasts. But they're called the Mikra'ei Kodesh, a calling of holiness. What does that mean? So in essence, time in Jewish thinking is not linear. We don't go from rushing from A to B to C to D. Time is a circular and cyclical spiral leading forward. And each one of those seasons, each one of those holidays, each one of those appointed times are the gateways within which we enter. And in that gateway, there is a calling out of the spiritual power that relates to that feast. Shavuot, Pentecost, is being able to hear God so much deeper. Sukkot is being able to depend on God completely. We live in this little thatched hut in the midst of the fields, in the midst, or rejoicing in the bounty that comes from the fields. Nisan is being liberated from our own slavery. The word from Egypt in Hebrew, meitzarim, also comes from the word meitzarim. The things that press us, that force us to become enslaved. And to be honest, humanity is so used to being enslaved. They're not aware of it. They're enslaved to what is politically correct, or they're enslaved to what is totally not politically correct. They're enslaved to how other people view them. They're enslaved about this image of who they are, and they don't have the opportunity to grow from moment to moment. Pesach is about finding our own freedom, finding it in the midst of the people, but finding our own freedom within ourselves, to get rid of the chametz. The chametz is the leavened bread, but chametz is also our ego. That's what happens. We take bread and flour. It's one of the only foods that we take the product from the ground and we have to make it into something. We can eat an apple off a tree. We can eat olives from a tree. But we need to make the bread. That fills us with a sense of ego. And chametz, the yeast, is a symbol of that inflated me, who I am. And the whole point of Pesach is to somehow let go of that a little bit. Let go of your ego. Sit back, relax, enjoy the powers that you're going to find ensconced within this time, within this gateway you're coming into, and find a way to free yourself up to be more of what we're meant to be. And so in this time of great difficulties in the land, difficulties in the world is going through, everywhere in the world, much upheaval. And there are people there that are trying to distort that upheaval for their own benefits. And that makes it more dangerous. In the midst of that, first we need to find ourselves so that we can truly discern what is against the nature of our purpose in this world and what is part of the nature of our purpose. So may Pesach and your coming together as a family, which we'll talk about later, and your eating these things and not these things, and the questioning that goes on in Pesach, all that is the process of finding your you. So may Hashem give us all the strength to find and be removed from or liberated from our own meitzarim, our own things that keep us bound up. And in the midst of that, find the freedom to choose who I'm supposed to really be. Chag Kasher V'Sameach. As I said, we're going to be sending out articles, sending out our newsletter, and this is just the beginning of it. Chag Kasher V'Sameach. We are going to be closed during Pesach. If I have a chance to put something out, I might, but thank God I'm going to be celebrating Pesach with our whole family and with all of Am Yisrael throughout Israel and everybody in this world. Shabbat Shalom and Chag Kasher V'Sameach. We will talk, I will write and maybe hear from you by email. By the way, feel free to email us at shorashimshop@yahoo.com. That's one word, shorashimshop@yahoo.com, with questions and thoughts. And may we continue to learn together and grow together. Shalom v'li'it'rot from Jerusalem.